Hi, my name's Ross, the creator and founder of Geordie Consulting and Geordie Intelligence, the YouTube channel you're watching right now. Welcome along to our new series that was just starting. We're going to look this time at Power BI and the whole Power Platform really, from a developer's perspective, but we're going to do it in a different way to what you'll normally find channels doing. Welcome along. So here at Geordie Intelligence, what we like to do is do a lot more talking about the why we should do something. What's the reasoning behind it? There's a lot of channels, a lot of content out there that'll talk about how, and if you're wanting a deep technical dive into anything, it's probably not the best channel you want to be on. But if you want to understand why it's important to do something in a particular way and to learn some technical skills along the way, we are definitely the channel you want. So what are we doing now? So we've gone through, in the last season we actually looked at looking at Power BI from a business user's perspective. Put a link where you can follow that and have a look. And the important thing, what we have to recognize, we have to understand, is that Power BI, and for the large part, the whole Power Platform, is deliberately placed in O365 space, as opposed to in Azure space, where the rest of the real heavyweight cloud stuff takes place. And there's a reason for that. And I think a lot of the stuff that we do now, and the way the platform is being pushed and the way a lot of the conversations are happening, they're undermining the roots of the platform. And the problem with that is that the platform won't cope with having its roots ripped out from underneath it. You know, you do that, take the gardening analogy. If you go out and you kill the roots, surprise, surprise, the top of your plants die. You've got to kind of protect the roots. And the roots of Power Platform are O365. So we have to protect that. So I thought, right, let's have a look and see what can we do from a developer's perspective in Power BI, specifically for this first part of the series, and actually extend the basics of Power BI, but always understanding the principles of Power BI is there for the business. So what does that look like? So let's start here, okay? Simplest place to start, our Power BI homepage. Okay, for this season, I am going to run as me. Don't see any reason. We're not going to use a business user. We're not going to use a separate developer account. I was debating, do we do it this way? There've been some real benefits for doing the business user as a specific business user with a different logo and credentials. Everything was different, really stripped back. I want to do this way as me. So yeah, I'll apologize. I have the admin rights. I've got all this stuff. But for you as a developer, chances are you've got admin rights to your environment. You can do these things. So it didn't feel right for me to turn around and say, right, let's adjust business users' credentials and rights and settings so that business user has a bit more access to it. And, you know, probably rename it, do something like that. But that didn't feel right. So I thought, we're going to leave it with me because I think that replicates your position a lot more than mine. Okay, what we probably don't have, or what we won't be doing, is going through and saying, right, we're going to build all these things with all these colleagues and do the test stuff. So that's going to be our biggest weakness. But what we can do is we can start to piece together and build an awful lot out of what's going on. So this is the home screen of Power BI. And this is the thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you are a developer or a business user. You both have the same home screen. There isn't a separate admin view. There is a separate admin console. Okay, so the admin portal is here. We can have a look at the admin portal. Okay, we'll have a look here. Now, what we won't be doing in this season, specifically we are not doing it in this season, is we are not going to go and move into Fabric. Okay, I use Fabric day to day in what I do professionally, and I do large scale migrations. I'm in the middle of doing quite a large one at the moment. But the challenge that we still have in Fabric is It's very difficult for me to turn around and say, this is what Fabric is going to cost you to a client. And that's, for me as a consultant, is the biggest headache I have. How can I say to a client who's used to the concept of Power BI being a fixed cost item, this is the cost, but oh yeah, there's a chance you'll go into overages and have to spend extra. And it's not a small cost. If it was a small cost and there was a usage fee to it, be okay, I can go with it. But it's big cost plus usage when you go over. And well, when are we going to go over? I don't know. Doesn't go down well. Okay, so that's my thing. So one of the things I would always say to clients, and one of the things we do push and remind people of, especially when we first get in touch with clients, is to go into the admin portal and under your tenant settings. And what you can do is you can find here things like users can create Fabric items. It's a useful one to at least think about and remove that from being enabled to your entire organization. Lock it down to a security group. And there's another one where users can take out Fabric trials. So users can try Fabric paid features. Again, sensible to lock that down to specific groups because you don't want anyone, I don't want to do this with that. Okay? Because that way disaster lies. Especially if they go and build all these whiz-bang functions that the business is going to need. Doesn't work. So we've got that. Okay, so what we are going to do though is we are going to run this with premium per user. Now, I've thought long and hard about, is premium per user the right license for us to work through with this? And my methodology, my mindset was that fundamentally, if you are a business, okay, so we'll say business, less than 1,000 users, okay, less than 1,000 users, let's be honest, actually, okay, let's use Microsoft's calculations. Less than 500 users, it is probably more cost effective for you to use premium per user than to look at an alternative, more expensive license. Probably. I think probably is like a terrible word because, it might not be. Okay? Probably. So I thought, well, this feels like it's about right. I think the people that we've got looking at this, watching these videos are probably SME clients, small, medium-sized enterprise, likely. Okay, if you are a large enterprise, you're watching this, you say, well, we're bigger, we can take this. Get in touch, meeting link down below, arrange a meeting with Geordie Consulting. Happy to take you through this. We'll talk about this more in terms of you, but at that point, you probably need a more tailored way of working. Okay, so a Power BI Pro license will do an awful lot. It'll do a ton for you. Switching up to the Power BI Premium per user license will do an awful lot more. The issue is that if you go PPU, potentially anything that's in Premium per user, PPU, space needs PPU access or PPU licenses to access it, which is where the costs can scale quite quickly. Now, you say, it's terrible, how many people actually use Power BI in your organization? How many people are actually going to use the insights that come out from it? Chances are, during the early stages, it's probably 20, 30, maybe 50. Again, if we're talking about your 500-seat organization, which isn't a huge cost. When you then start talking, well, instead of that, we could look at going down a Fabric route, and we could go with Pro and Fabric, which you would need if you go under an F64. So F64, under an F64, you need Pro licenses to access. So you don't get the benefit of free access, free licensing tiers until you get to F64 and above. So your F32s, F16s, F8s, you're going to need to get the licenses for Pro on top of your Fabric spend. So you're always going to have to kind of work those out, and then you've got to make sure you've put in place all the stuff to make sure you're not spreading, so you're not actually going into your overage costs with it. So you've got all these extra complexities, which I thought, well, we're not going to do that. Let's keep this as simple as we can, and let's look at it from a point of view of, we've got PPU, what can we do? And the things I wanted to look at with this really was, I wanted to look at what's been one of my favorite data sets. I love this one. I do love this one. NYC. Okay. So So we've got this, when I found the right place, we've got this, got the New York City water production. Okay, now this has been something that I put together nearly 5 years ago, and it's just been quietly running through. This is one of the things I love about Power BI. We set these things up, they run. Okay, so this runs through. And if we have a look at this report, and this report is not a nice report. I do not like this report. It was always meant as this is meant as a starting for you to understand what's going on. Every rooftop water tower that you have in New York City is supposed to be inspected every year. Okay, every calendar year. Okay, so every water tower inspected every calendar year. And there's a whole host of things that come through with it. We've got like their location, we've got kind of what they where they are, we've got kind of boroughs, we can see what's overdue, we've got lots of stuff that we've gone through over the years to kind of get to this point of building something that gives quite a nice view. And then obviously we can go through and look at the specific report for any specific location. The idea being this was a nice printed version. We can get, oh, I've got this, we can print it, brilliant. Okay, and we can choose which report do we want to look at for here. So we can say, well, I want this one from here, and it will show me the report data for there versus wherever it is. Okay, because obviously each building has been inspected multiple times. And this was one of those things, what are we going to do with this? So now is the time, isn't it? We're going to crack this properly, and we're going to make this work perfectly for us. And one of the things we did as well is way back, if you go back through our playlist, you'll find this where we talked about this, was we've got in place a pipeline here. Okay, so we've got this is the production end, so we can go and view the deployment pipeline. And this is something that we've got a lot of talk going on more and more now as well. So from a developer perspective, this is key. We need to understand this. And you're going to need to understand why I hate these development pipelines. But let's see if we can make this work for us properly. So there's a few things we're going to do, okay? We're going to really look at our workspace strategy. Why are we saying this is a workspace strategy that works? And then when we understand why we say this is the workspace strategy that works, we can revisit and understand what do we need to do to make these deployment pipelines that are native to Power BI work, if they can work, and if they can't, why can't they? And you'll then understand to be able to see, do you know what, I'm a developer, I'm going to sit in that office, I'm going to sit in my meetings with my colleagues and say, we're not going to use deployment pipelines or development pipelines within Power BI because, or you can turn around and say, do you know what, I've heard everything you've said, Ross, I completely disagree. And do you know what? I am fine with you disagreeing. I really genuinely have no issue if you disagree with what I say. I am coming from a position of this is my opinion based on what I've experienced. If you feel differently, all power to you. Genuinely, not an issue. Okay, we will also still help you if you have problems or anything like that. If you choose to go a different way, that's fine. As long as you're taking that decision from a position of knowledge, which is what we want you to be in. So anyway, so we've got these deployment pipelines here, right, which will take through and duplicate workspace content from from dev to QA or test to production. And you can go through and you can push them through and you can also roll them back if you need to. So as I say, from here, we can say this is test. We need to unassign the workspace. We can stage settings. We can do stuff. From here, you can see you've got the deployment history. So we could pick where was it. We could choose to roll back. There's things we can do. Okay, so there's a lot in there. And we'll do a deeper dive into this deployment pipeline next week. Okay, we'll do a proper deep dive into it. I'll show you how we step through it. Okay, the other thing we've still got is we've got these data marts, which have been removed from the product in favor of a fabric component that will replace them. I'm 99% certain. Full details haven't yet come out. I'm sure they'll come out in the next couple of weeks as we've got FabCon going on. But data marts are likely to be a fabric component, whatever they are going to be dressed up as in the future. Okay, we see this already where you've got PBIX in the cloud. You can now build full semantic models, edit measures, edit the relationships, do all that structure in the cloud. That's what data marts were supposed to be. I think there's some stuff that's been dropped out from that, but we'll see. Okay, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. This was an experiment we did as part of the program where it was just coming through in preview feature, but we will push further. We will extend this model. So we're going to NYC Water 3.0, no doubt. We'll look at it all. One of the things that we've got, though, that underpins this, right, and this has been like the absolute bane of my life. So this is one of the biggest successes and failures that I've got in this area, okay? So the way this spreadsheet works is, and the point with this was around saying, right, your ERP systems that you've got. So over my many, many years of doing this, we've had Oracle's SAPs where you've got something very similar. You've got somebody has built a customer, and the customer record, we've spelled it slightly differently this time. Rather than using the existing one, finding the existing one, someone's put a second one in, or a third one, fifth one, 17th one. You got all these variations, and then eventually it kind of comes out, oh, someone's got a special spreadsheet that has the two IDs linked together. So we built this spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet pulls from the master list that we download from the website and compares it to itself. So it will add new rows when needed. And then you read that through and it pulls and says, right, let's normalize that data. So this is what they mean. So we've got, as you can see here, we've got all these ambient group Inc. is what we're saying it is. And whereas the lab name here, it's like ambient group Inc. dot, ambient group capital INC dot, all caps INC, all caps ID 1209009. So you've got all these variations that are potentially the same thing. So this is something we see happening all the time. So we went through, what can we do? And I thought long and hard, spreadsheet, and it works. And it really annoys me because I've been thinking, well, we can do better. We can do better. And you know what? I haven't been able to really do better so far, but I want to crack this. This is going to be one of the things that we're going to crack this series. We are going to make this something that is going to work for our organization and be amazing so that we can be, yes, we've smashed this product at this one so far. But this is amazing. It goes through, simply refresh it, and it comes in with blank rows as and where they're needed. And then you just simply going through and saying, well, this means whatever. So CSI, is it CSI? I don't know. We've said CSI. Presumably, if we did this more, we would be able to say, yeah, this is what this should be. And what we should do is probably do some other things, looking and doing deep dives into it. But what we're talking about now, isn't it? This is the data quality side that is different from the raw IT side, like the data processing side. We implement the rules in IT. The business has to tell us the outcomes that are required. And then we need to build the rule sets that meet those outcomes. And the business then needs to validate that those two have met. Yeah, so that our scripts have met the requirement. We can't put it all on the business. We can't put it all on IT to come through and solve all the business problems, because I can guarantee we would say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This is a problem I've seen many times professionally, where the 11th hour of a project, go, oh, yeah, we know that. Yeah, these ones need to be treated as the same. That week-long workshop we had wasn't mentioned, not once. So, well, management don't need to know, and you probably had management in that meeting. Okay, that's called politics. We don't get involved in politics. Okay, we get involved in delivering good solutions. But yeah, this is one we need to work through. So this goes through, works out everything that you go through here, and then obviously we've got a nice validation step saying what's missing, what do we need to do. Okay, so we've got those. And part of the idea of this is that we can get to the point where this refreshes automatically and then it notifies, say, oh, we've got some blanks, oh, we've got some issues. And I'd really like to get this properly built into a nice Power App or something like that that's going to send a task to you to do something about it. But as I say, it works really well in Excel, depressingly well, because of things like that, oh, you've typed similar values in the field above, is this what you mean? Rather than it just being another free text, it makes it so easy to just go, yeah, this is what I mean, this is what I mean. You should still be going on behind the scenes to validate this, but that would then be, well, whose task is it to validate this spreadsheet? And that's important, isn't it? That it has to be somebody who knows what each one means, but also knows where to check and chase up and has presumably got access to the underlying system to validate and go, all right, yeah, this is what actually happened. I'm going to pull that file. I'm going to look and see who carried out that inspection. Oh, yeah, that was this people, these, yeah. Okay. And potentially that's not IT. I know that's not me over here. We could do it. You know, if New York wants to get in touch, say, hey, can you help us with this? Happy to help, mate. You know, we will build you this. Not a problem. Okay, as with all the things we do, there's that. These are business challenges that we're trying to put in the context of real world for you. Yeah? Champion. So what do you think? Okay. The water tower data is an awesome data set for me. It's real world. It's got issues. It's got challenges. It's got stuff in it that's just, ugh. And that's one of the things we love in this channel. And if you go through our other playlists, other videos, get in touch with me, you'll see we do not like using synthetic data. We do not like using existing demos that Microsoft use as well. We specifically like to use ones that are unique to what we're doing. And a reason for that as well is that as we are stepping into AI more and more and more, the chances of AI having come across this challenge and the way it's framed are lower. You know, if you use Contoso database and the whole stuff that you've got there around Contoso and all that, that's been sampled and used an awful lot. Whereas this is more likely what you're going to experience with it. And there are things that we will do, things we won't do. And if we are going to do things in AI, it will be with Copilot only, again, because we're going to stick within the Microsoft ecosystem. I think that's important. You know, we can talk rights and wrongs about that if you want to, you know, say, get in touch down below. But the important thing with this is very much that you understand and have that thought experiment going on in your mind as to why we're doing something in a particular way. And then you can think, well, this is how I should do this within my organization, or the stance that my organization should be taking about anything that we discuss going forward. So I think if you enjoy that and you want to find out more, get in touch. As I say, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep doing this. We definitely need more people to go through and actually start to support the channel, because one of the things we are looking at doing is that potentially we are going to end up stepping to a point where we are needing to distance this channel from the consultancy. So obviously the consultancy is a Microsoft partner. We have to toe specific lines from a Microsoft perspective. And I don't know if we want the channel to be doing the same thing. But it does make it difficult when the consultancy is what pays the bills for the channel. So think about what you want. And there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of discussions going on behind the scenes about what we should be doing medium to long term and where our next series after this one is going to take us. But considering we're looking and saying, do we need to start thinking about breaking ties with the consultancy? I hope you can see roughly where we might be going. For now, though, stay in touch. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Stay safe. Take care. Ta-da.